Imagine this. You are a gentle monk, sitting obediently, copying scriptures in the sacred monastery of Lindisfarne. You wear no armor, you hold no weapons, you possess only a fierce belief that the divine will protect you from all evil forces. Suddenly, boom! The thick wooden door is kicked open, splintering everywhere. A pack of men, massive as bears, with bushy beards, shirtless, and reeking of rotten fish, storms in, wielding axes. They don't bother to say hello. They don't listen to reason. One guy swings his axe and goes whack, right on the head of your fellow brother while he's praying, spraying blood all over a priceless ancient book. While you stand there, jaw dropped, eyes rolling back, unable to comprehend what is happening, this pack of wild men starts scooping up all the gold, the silver, the holy chalices, hoarding every shiny object, just like middle-aged ants fighting over discount goods at the supermarket. The old, frail monks run around in pure chaos, crying out loudly, "Good heavens! Why are there robbers in the Holy Land? Will anyone save us?" But of course, no one is coming to save them. These northern boys have just discovered a massive loophole in Europe. The places hoarding the most gold and silver, the ones that are ridiculously rich, are the exact same places guarded by frail men with bare hands who have sworn an oath to never use violence. Absolutely brilliant. Why wouldn't you rob them blind? Welcome to the Medieval Archive. Today, we are roasting the most blatant robbery of the 8th century, the raid on Lindisfarne Monastery, the bloody milestone that marked the beginning of the Viking Age. Let's rewind the tape a bit, back to a time when these Vikings were just nobodies, struggling to survive in the freezing wasteland of Scandinavia. Imagine their home region as a terrible starting zone that the game developers completely abandoned. The land is barren, covered in ice all year round. Imagine grinding all day to grow a single carrot, and the moment it pops out of the dirt, it freezes into a solid block of ice that you could use to crack a skull. Farming means starving, and grouping up just means these clans pull out axes to bash each other's brains in over a few patches of useless weeds. Literally the worst starting position on the world map. But desperate times call for desperate measures. Stuck in this brutal place, these northern dudes dumped all their skill points into the shipbuilding profession. They chopped wood and crafted these incredible curved longships. These things were flat, lightweight, and glided over the waves like they were on roller skates. Plus, they could sail straight up shallow rivers right into the mainland. Armed with this top-tier ship, our hairy friends scratched their heads and thought, "Why are we stuck in the middle of nowhere, griefing each other? Let's sail over to the next server and see what kind of loot they have." Meanwhile, across the ocean, the European kingdoms were living an incredibly wealthy lifestyle, exactly like VIP, pay-to-win players. They were busy building massive monasteries, casting solid gold crosses, and fighting over petty politics deep inland. Not a single king bothered to build a watchtower or a defensive wall on the coast, purely because they were so arrogant. They'd thump their chests and say, "What kind of lunatic would cross that stormy northern sea?" Yep, they basically left their front doors wide open. So, one fine morning, these phantoms of the ocean, carrying battle axes and their signature body odor, casually appeared on their beach. And so, on that fateful day in 793, the Vikings activated the most broken cheat code of the era, the hit-and-run strategy. Think of their long ships as sports cars on the water. No warning sirens, no loud banners. They just slipped right out of the fog, onto the Lindisfarne beach. To the European kings, the ocean was a giant firewall keeping enemies out. But to the Vikings, the ocean was a toll-free 6-lane highway. Lindisfarne was essentially a massive treasure chest that someone forgot to lock. The lords assumed nobody is crazy enough to disrespect the gods' holy site, so they dumped all their gold, silver, and jewels there, without hiring a single guy with a spear to stand guard. So, Our Nordic bros just hopped off the boat, jogged inside, handed out a few axe bonks to the dumbfounded monks, stuffed their bags full of shiny gold cups, tossed a few guys into the sea to free up weight on the boat, and casually paddled away. Before the local militia could even put their pants on, it was an absolute slap in the face to Europe's ego. From that moment on, the Vikings reached the absolute peak of arrogance. They slapped their knees and yelled, "Holy crap! Looting the South is easier than picking mushrooms in the woods." This hairy squad started treating the entire European coastline like their own personal ATM. Whenever they ran out of beer money, they'd pile into a boat, cruise down the coast, pick a random church with a big roof, smash it up, grab the loot, and dip. Their egos inflated like a balloon about to pop. They strutted around, treating themselves like invincible gods of war, the nightmares of the sea. Wherever they went, people had to cry and hand over their money. But you know the rules of every game. If you abuse one trick for too long, the developers are going to drop a patch and nerf you into the ground. The Vikings thought they owned the server, running around bonking heads and looting for centuries, until one day, the European kings finally woke up and downloaded the latest basic defense update. They stopped building unprotected monasteries on islands. Instead, said they built thick stone castles, dragged giant iron chains across rivers, and raised an elite squad of knights covered in full iron armor from head to toe. Imagine a shirtless Viking, completely used to the old habits, happily running up the beach with his axe to smash a door, only to go clang. The axe bounces back and smacks him right in the nose because he just hit a massive stone wall. The northern boys started scratching their heads, suddenly realizing the game difficulty had just been switched from easy to nightmare. But the most painful slap, the ultimate ban hammer that permanently locked the Vikings out, wasn't swords or spears. It was a highly sophisticated brainwashing spell, assimilation. Yep, the European wizards cast a critical hit. Instead of fighting and bleeding, they held up their hands and said, "Hey, hairy dudes, splash some of this holy water on your heads. We'll give you a massive plot of land to farm, a princess to marry, and if you want gold, just collect taxes from people. Why work so hard to rob?" The deal was way too good, so the Vikings threw away their bloody axes, put on decent silk clothes, started farming, and paid taxes like model citizens. From bloodthirsty terrors of the sea who made children scream just hearing their name, they slowly morphed into chill, well-behaved middle-aged men with dad bods. The final blow that completely extinguished all hope happened in 1066 at the Battle of Stamford Bridge. The last great Viking king, Harold Hardrada, got way too cocky. He invaded England, but ordered his army to take off their armor because it was a hot day and they were getting sweaty. The result? The Viking army got totally ambushed by the English troops. The great king caught an arrow straight to the throat and immediately logged out of Earth. A massive game over sign popped up, officially closing the era of the northern looters. So, GGWP, good game, well played, to the Viking bros. They used to be the terror of all of Europe, turning the lights out wherever they went. And where are they now? Well, most of them turned to dust, blowing in the wind ages ago. Or, if you look at their descendants in Northern Europe today, just picture this. Instead of running around shirtless with axes to bash heads and steal gold, they are wearing neat uniforms, peacefully selling meatballs, and teaching the entire world how to aggressively assemble wooden cabinets with screws. From bloodthirsty warriors to well-behaved furniture salesmen. What an absolute historical plot twist. The core lesson from the shocking Lindisfarne robbery. Very simple, no matter how decently you live or how hard you pray. Please, if you have good stuff and shiny gold, buy a high-quality lock, or at least upgrade your walls. Never leave your assets out in the open. Leave the door wide open, and close your eyes hoping the robbers will be deterred by the law of karma. They don't fear karma, they only fear concrete walls and guards standing watch with weapons. If you don't want to wake up one beautiful morning to find a sweaty, bearded boogeyman kicking down your door to steal your computer, then swing a massive axe into that subscribe button and smash the like button below for me. Thanks, guys, for sitting through my rambling. See you in the next chaotic history roast. Now, I'm gonna go lock my room door. Goodbye.